My name is Catherine Chrysostomo, and I'm the Assistant Director of Learning Assistance in the Academic Achievement Center. I'm joined by my colleague Renee Bernier, who is the Coordinator of Academic Coaching in the AAC. Today we will be reviewing some basic resources within the Academic Achievement Center and some college success skills to help you feel prepared as you begin your classes in a few weeks. Learning assistance in the AAC is composed of both tutoring and academic coaching. Tutoring is peer-to-peer content support and is offered in the areas of accounting and finance, math, writing, select core curriculum classes, and second language services, which works with students for whom English is not their native language. Academic coaching assists BSU undergraduates in the development of academic support skills which are pivotal to their academic success. These skills are not class-specific like the content reviewed in tutoring sessions. This is an illustration of the difference between academic coaching and tutoring. In today's presentation, we're going to talk briefly about both, introducing you to some coaching skills that you can follow up on within a one-on-one meeting, as well as some ways to feel prepared for if and when you work with a tutor this semester. Let's talk about how to have a successful online tutoring session. To start, we're going to talk about the two types of tutoring that we offer in the AAC, appointments and drop-ins. To make an appointment, simply go to our Academia appointment making platform. Academia can be found in our AAC intranet site or by going to bridgew.academia.net. You'll be asked to sign in using your BSU credentials. Once you make the appointment, check your BSU email for the confirmation, appointment details, and link to the session. At the time of your appointment, click on the link in your email and your tutor will let you into the session. Make sure that you're double checking the date and time in the email so that you're clicking on the link only at the time of your appointment. Drop-in tutoring is also available in the AAC for select areas, meaning you don't have to have an appointment to access tutoring. Links will be available through the AAC intranet site and Academia homepage, along with hours for those areas that are available by drop-in. To access drop-in tutoring, click on the drop-in link, select the course you're looking for help with, and sign in. Remember, online tutoring is not available 24/7. Pay attention to the times drop-in online tutoring is being offered and only click on the links during those times. Now let's talk about some tips to get the most out of your online tutoring session, whether you're in a drop-in session or appointment. First, if your Wi-Fi is stable enough, keep your camera on to help build connection with the tutor. However, if you need to save your Wi-Fi, let the tutor know that you need to keep your camera off and just use the microphone or chat features. Make sure you're coming prepared with your notes, books, and any questions about the material. Remember that even in an online environment, the tutor is a guide, not a teacher. They'll be asking you questions and helping you to reinforce information to get the most out of the session. And lastly, build time into your schedule for online tutoring each week. We've found that the most successful students use tutoring on an ongoing basis, and that is a way that they are able to be successful in their classes.
My name is Renee Bernier, and I am the Coordinator of Academic Coaching in the Academic Achievement Center. As previously mentioned, one component of learning assistance is academic coaching, which focuses on academic college success skill development. These are the main skill areas of academic coaching: active learning strategies, fixed growth mindset, goal setting and motivation, organization and prioritization, professional academic communication, research and library resource support, stress management, test preparation, study cycles, and time and task management. Today we're going to focus on some active learning strategies that will help you be successful as a student, whether you're attending classes online, in person, or navigating some combination of the two via hybrid classes. We'll also hone in on some professional academic communication skills that will take you far in terms of understanding expectations from professors and communicating with them respectfully about your classes this semester. Speaking of classes, Let's briefly go over the 3 different ways you may experience classes this semester. This will be important in terms of communication with professors, knowing what your schedule will look like so you can set up appointments with coaches or tutors, and knowing what is expected of you throughout the semester. The first 2 terms relate to your online classes. Synchronous classes are when students are expected to meet with their class or professor at a regularly scheduled day and time. Whether in person or online, students are expected to be present at those class days and times to engage course content and complete class activities. Class attendance may be monitored. Homework will be expected to be done outside of class time. Professors will be available for additional support, either via email, during scheduled office hours, or by appointment. Asynchronous classes are when students are not expected to meet with the class or the professor at any specific time during the week, either in person or online. Students engage with course content on their own time and complete assignments and tasks whenever they choose, but before the due date. Professors will be available for help either via email, during scheduled office hours, or through appointment. The final term is for classes that have in-person and online components. Hybrid classes are when students and the professor meet face-to-face occasionally at specific times, but much of the course is delivered online. Very few classes are being offered in person during the fall 2020 semester, so knowing these terms is important. Now that we've gone over the difference in how classes will be delivered this semester, we're going to dive into some strategies that will help you be successful in them, no matter if they are synchronous, asynchronous, or hybrid. The first strategy is to practice netiquette. With so many classes being offered online this semester, understanding the correct or acceptable way of communicating on the internet and via email is crucial. The second strategy is to check your email multiple times a day. BSU's main form of communication with their students is email. University-wide announcements come to your student email account, as well as emails from professors. Checking your email in the morning, around noontime, and in the evening as you're preparing for the next day can help you avoid missing important class updates, like a canceled class or a change to an assignment deadline. The third strategy is sending professional emails to professors. There are some clear do's and don'ts when it comes to sending a professional email, and we'll go over these shortly. Here are some basic netiquette tips to be aware of as you embark on your online learning journey. These tips will help you stay professional in a Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Blackboard Collaborate, or other virtual setting. Use the raise hand feature and the chat for class participation and question asking. Respond to discussions with appropriate capitalization, grammar, and punctuation. If possible, make sure your webcam is enabled. Communicate any discomfort with this to your professor in an email or an office hour. Consider and anticipate technology issues. Keeping your camera off and staying muted until it's necessary to respond can help with Wi-Fi and bandwidth issues. Communicate this to your professor in an email or an office hour if you feel you may have technology concerns. Consider using the library or other space if you are able, comfortable doing so, and it is safe to do so. Arrive to your online class the same way you'd arrive to an in-person class. This means things like being on time, looking presentable, not necessarily being in bed, for example, but being upright, seated, and at a desk where you're able to work, or other conducive space where you're able to work. Finally, take it offline. Print out your syllabus for each class, print articles out as you need them, or even the PowerPoint slides for your lectures, and take notes on the notes section when you print them with the notes lines. Take notes in your notebook during a lecture as opposed to typing as the professor is speaking. Research shows that handwriting notes is more effective for actual retention of information and material than typed. So if and when you can take notes by hand, it could be a good idea. If you need to access the Disability Resources and Student Accessibility Services office regarding a note taker, they're always an available resource for you. Some professors are clear in their expectations when it comes to netiquette and how students should conduct themselves in an online setting by putting that information in their syllabus. For example, one of BSU's communications professors outlines her expectations and guidance clearly in her syllabus as shown here. With so many course offerings online this semester, you may see some expectations outlined in the syllabi for your classes. This is just another important reason to review the course syllabus for each class at the beginning of the semester and refer back to it over the course of the semester as you are completing assignments and progressing through the material. Part of practicing good netiquette is also being mindful of how you are communicating via email with professors and staff members on campus. Here are some best practices to consider. Use a clear subject line. Leaving the subject line blank means that the professor has no idea what you are reaching out to them for. A vague subject line is not much better. Be specific so they have some context for the email before they even open it. Include a salutation. Begin with a greeting, like "Hello, Professor," or "Good morning, Professor," as opposed to "Hey" or no greeting at all. If you know your professor prefers to be called Doctor, you can refer to them as such. Remember your punctuation, capitalization, spelling, and grammar rules. Avoid texting lingo, internet abbreviations and acronyms, and emojis. Attempt to find the answer to your questions first, then reach out. Let your professor know that you've been resourceful and used your syllabus, textbook, or classmates before outreaching them. Finish strong. Include an email signature. If sent from phones, many emails include a message like "sent from my iPhone." Let the professor know you took the time to compose a well-thought-out email, delete the generic phone message, and end with a signature like "best" or "sincerely," then include your name and banner ID. Consider the following scenario. You are in Sociology 323 and you have a question about the first research assignment, which is due in 1 month. Your professor has office hours on Monday and Wednesday, but during those times you are in another class. You draft this email but decide it's not detailed enough. The email is to Kristen Carey, your professor, and the body reads, "I need to talk to you about something important right away. When can you meet?" Let's talk through some of the issues with this. There's no subject line, no greeting, no proper punctuation or grammar, no indication that you've looked at the syllabus to determine when you might meet in office hours, no closing signature. Another thing to avoid when it comes to professional communication is emailing your professor with a vague message. Specifically stating what you need assistance with will help your professor best help you. Also, consider the time frame you're sending the specific message in. If it is a message that is relatively urgent and needs their attention more immediately, or you're asking for an extension for an assignment, be sure to email professors in advance. Think a week before as opposed to the day before, and specifically state what you need assistance with. This will require planning and forethought on your end, particularly when it comes to asking for extensions. Considering the ways in which the original email was lacking, consider this rewrite. Good morning, Professor Carey. My name is Jane Jones, banner ID 00123456, and I'm a student in your Sociology 323, Sociology of Adolescence course, Section 2. I saw in the syllabus that your office hours are Monday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. I have another class during those times, but I wanted to meet to discuss some ideas for our first research assignment. Are you available to meet on another day or at another time? I look forward to hearing back from you. Best, Jane Jones, banner ID 00123456. This is an example of an email that uses a clear subject line. Jane uses the subject line Sociology 323 question. This lets the professor know right away, before even opening the email, what class the question is coming from or regarding. She uses a salutation, "Good morning, Professor Carey," as well as appropriate punctuation, capitalization, spelling, and grammar rules. Jane also demonstrates that she consulted the syllabus first to determine if she could attend office hours, and when she discovered that the office hour times did not align with her available time, she referenced that information when asking her professor about another mutual meeting time. Finally, Jane concludes with an email signature, including her name and banner ID. Some students will include an email signature with their name, leadership roles they might hold on campus, graduation year, etc., but it is not required. One of the key academic success strategies you can employ as a student is seeking resources and assistance. You don't only need to do this when you feel you need help. You can implement academic coaching and tutoring at any point in your academic career. Whether you want someone to support you through a challenging academic experience, or you want accountability partners along the way to help you learn, develop more of, and stay committed to developing the skills we covered today. Follow these 5 steps to make an appointment with either a tutor or an academic coach. Finally, these are an example of what our intranet pages look like. When you are on the intranet pages for the Academic Achievement Center, you can find Tutoring Central and Academic Coaching pages on the left-hand panel, where you'll find many other links to the other supports that are offered through the AAC. On both of those pages, you will find contact information, the Academia button on which you can click to make an appointment, and on the Academic Coaching page under Student Resources on the right-hand side of the page, there are active links that bring you to skill-specific pages that review resources and handouts and strategies covered by the 10 skills that we discussed earlier today. If you have any questions about learning assistance at Bridgewater State University, please contact Catherine Crisostomo at kcrisostomo@bridgew.edu.